Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Monday night where this week all roads lead to the great Mount Panorama in Bathurst, Australia for the final round of season 14 of the Australia-New Zealand Strength of Field race for the Skip Barbers, the Monday Night Lights. And joining me once again this week in commentary booth is AJ, Alex John, and I'm your host, Alex McKellar, of course. AJ, massive week ahead of us of racing here tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. This is my favourite track on iRacing, so looking forward to it. 18 cars. I can't wait to see what that looks like going down Conrod Straight.
Yeah, 100%. Looking forward to it myself as the guys are out there qualifying at the moment. Massive field. I tell you what, I can only lay claims to us having the second strongest field of the week. The first strongest field this week, or the top strength of field for this week, if you can believe it, was an incredible 4,950 odd. We have a fairly good crack at it. Second highest here tonight with 39.79, just under the 4K split that we were hoping for. But there are some incredibly big names out there, all looking forward to cracking their shot at the not only the win here tonight, but also the MNL title, which is going right down to the wire, AJ. I'll just bring up the points now so we can have a look.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Fahim in there. He's going to have a crack at P1. We've got Russell Clark in there with a chance, and how am I seeing? We haven't got Tim Awima in the top split. He was an outside chance, but he's been relegated to split 2, so that's probably put a nail in the coffin for his championship hopes, because I don't think he'll be able to score enough points to jump Fahim or Russell, even if he wins that split. So the other one was Kevin Henderson. Have we got Kevin Henderson in split 1? I don't think we do. He might have been relegated to split 2.
Yeah, potentially. He might have been relegated to split 2. I did see him out in the practice session, so not sure if he's going to make it. But yeah, Russell Clark leading the way, of course. Fahim Antonitis in second. Just need to score some points tonight, pretty much. Top 5 or better will do it, no matter the result for him. Kevin Henderson, if he's in the second split, can score points. In fact, he's got 0 drop rounds, so he's got as equally almost as good a chance as Fahim to take it out, who also has a 0-point round to drop. And then Tim Awima, it's going to be tight to see if he can get it. And I think, was it Scolty as well? Anyway, there's 4 in the top 7 tonight who can take it out. So plenty on the line here as we have Håkon Grebstad back in action and on picture here on screen at the moment, out seeing what he can do of the remainder of the season. Well, just this one race. I know he's missed a lot of the season, but yeah, he'll be looking to see what he can make of it. Enzo Kander, of course, joining us once again after that fantastic race at Mosport last week between him and his teammate Håkon Grebstad, jumping to the top of the pops straight away. Let's grab the standings as they race around on the second lap. They'll be lucky to get 2 in here tonight, AJ.
Yeah, you've really got to be on it in qualifying to make sure that you get 2 laps in 8 minutes, because it is quite a long lap around here. So you don't have a lot of time to spare, and if you make a mistake as well and have to go around and do another out lap after your first quali lap, then yeah, you could see yourself not setting a time at all, which would be pretty bad around here.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitchell McLeod, another local boy up there right near the top. Of course, they say the Australians grow an extra leg around here. And certainly Mitchell jumping up right up near the front there. I know he's very fast around here, although Håkon, after having a pretty rough start to the week, is right up near the pointy end as well. Great to see Timu Vaskalampi out there once again from Finland. He's pretty quick around here as well, as is Jeremiah Morton, who's making his way around on his second qualifying lap after only grabbing P6 at this stage provisionally. Russell Clark, he's of course our championship leader. He's had a rough trot of late, qualified only in P7, but he's been really strong around here this week. Got to taste that firsthand last night in the Australasian Super Skips, which was also here at Mount Panorama, and he took that out. Quite little achievement it was for him last night. Great to see Sven Toraduas back out here in action. Great guy, Sven. Really enjoy racing with him and seeing him out there. Oscar Chinchilla Maza, MNL regular and fan favourite at times in the chat. He's joined us. Gustavo Conde also joining us on track. Luke Whitten. Can I tell you, the biggest surprise for me tonight is how strong Luke is. He only snuck in, AJ. Car 17.
Yeah, Luke not having put a lot of wheel time in recently, but he's doing all right. He did it right last night, I think, in the super skips from memory. So he'll be right up there, and it's sort of the same as where we were in Modsport last week. And that draft is really going to come into play. So Russell is down there currently about a second off P1, but you never know what is going to happen around here, and the very very long Conrod Straight can bring him back into the fight for P1.
Yeah, absolutely. You might just see if I could grab that quality comparison. Hawken Grebstad sitting on pole currently. Fahim Antonides rounding there. Oh, he must have had a dropout at some point. He has those network issues. So only managing a 2:31.8 in that last lap. So not improving there at all as we round out quali now. The guys have all run and won what they're going to do. So let's bring up that grid for round 12, the final round. Season 14, live from Mount Panorama Circuit, of course. Hawken Grebstad, fantastic pole for him. 2:31.1, quite a cool track, but that's an outstanding time in these new skippies. P2, Timo Vascalampi said he had some pace with a 31.2, fantastically grabbing second position. Mitchell McLeod, as you said, got some pace here, leading the local charge. The 31.3 with a 31.3 just behind him. Second of the local boys, Jeremiah Morton, who has been very strong here this week. Barry Arends joining us very infrequently, but certainly posting a fantastic time there in P5. P6 went to Fahim Antonides, and he needs to finish, I think, one more spot up to guarantee that he jumps from second to the top step on the podium for this season. P7, Gustavo Conde from Iberia. Ben Snell, hoping to get a bit more luck out there tonight, starting in P8 for Team Milo. His teammate in P9, Russell Clark from ANZ, also looking to grab his first ever MNL title. He's leading the way at the moment. It's all to play for, though, here tonight. Enzo Cantor in P10. Look to him to move through the field tonight. Luke Whitten, we mentioned, starting in P11, car 17. Good pace round here. We should see him improve from there. Sven Toraduas from Scandinavia. Great to see Sven back in the last of the MNL point scoring positions. Oscar Chinchilla Maza from Iberia joining us once again, but only managing 13th tonight on the grid at least. Let's see how he goes from here. P14, Samuel Collins from ANZ. P15, Wayne Funston, also from ANZ. P16, Ivan Fernandez from Iberia. 17, Tim Gorkrotcher failing to set a time. He will cut through this field like butter, all things going to plan. P18, Cristobal Otero Roman, as the guys start revving the engines. The red lights are on. Almost missed the start, AJ. They are away as they head on the short run down into Hell Corner at the start of this race, AJ. Let's see how they get up the mountain for the first time round.
Yeah, Russell Clark back there in P9 at the moment. He basically needs to win this if he's got any hope of the championship. So it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive he goes out here. But he's got Ben Snell, his teammate, there to help him. So I'm going to be looking for those two working together to try and slice through this pack.
Yeah, absolutely. Be interested to see Ben, of course, had his ups and downs this season, taking out his maiden win, but also finding the walls at a few circuits. Hopefully he can help Russell in his championship tilt as they go through and up the mountain straight and into now, coming into the cutting for the first time with Hawken Grebstad leading this field through. And they're all getting through pretty cleanly by the looks. Clark down in P9, looking to make his way up the field if he can, of course. Fahim Antonides just 3 positions in front of him, but certainly from there can take the title.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got Tim and Cristobal have already picked off one person, Wayne Funston, down 3 spots. So those guys are starting to make their way up the pack.
Yeah, Gorkrotcher all the way back down in 16th position at this moment. And you're right, just up the 1 position by the looks. And Surprisingly, he must have been... Oh, he's up the inside, down through the S's. How did he make that work and everyone survived? But they all have. They've all got through. A little bit second hand there, but it was at the detriment of Fernandez, Roman and Funston, who are all at the back now of this field. What a move up the inside. I tell you what, only angels fear to tread through there, Tim Gorkrotcher. What makes you of that, AJ?
Yeah, I've been getting all sorts of sideways going down into the S's. I don't know that Tim would have really claimed that was the overtake that he wanted to pull off, but it worked and he's up. But he's going to have to put his foot down because he's about 3 seconds off Samuel Collins now.
Yeah, 3 seconds and 3 by 3 almost through the chase there on the tail end of lap 1. Jeremiah Morton making it work with Hawken Grebstad. Those two having gone toe-to-toe in the previous race as well. Fahim Antonides now on the outside of Hell Corner. So Murray's now as they come towards the end. Someone revoked my citizenship for getting these corner names wrong. Seriously, what am I doing? On the run into turn 1 now, Grebstad relegated to P3. And the tiniest of little gaps arranging now behind, with Hawkon now just about half a second behind Jeremiah Morton and Vascalampi, showing that you don't need an Australian passport to lead one of these races. Up Mountain Straight now at the start of lap 2, AJ.
Yeah, Gustavo just falling way back down in the pack now. 7 spots. He's now lost. It's about to be 8. He got rear-ended by Ben Snell going into turn 1, Hill Corner. So yeah, that corner's been held for Gustavo, and that's another position for Russell Clark. But Russell's now got Enzo, Fahim's teammate, to contend with. So is Enzo going to be playing a team game here for Fahim and try and keep Russell back?
Oh, here more contact behind. It's hard to tell around here. Sometimes the net code gives you phantom sounds off walls, but no, everyone seems to be getting through pretty cleanly. Your top 3 at the moment, Vascalampi, Morton and McLeod. Grebstad losing another position as he went through Griffins on that time round, and really, look, you can get a lot done in these packs from start to finish in the race. Antonides now sitting in P5 just behind them as they go over Skyline now down through the S's. Tough to get any passing done over the top. We saw it more by accident than design last lap with Gorkrotcher going past, but these guys, they'll be looking for the run out of the Forest Elbow as they head down into that corner now. Really, your passing is going to be done on the end of these 2 mammoth straights. Out of the elbow, you want probably the key corner on this corner to get your job done down the main straight here at, excuse me, down Conrod. And then, of course, there's a little gap there breaking up. 9/10 now, Grebstad, who's side by side with McLeod now. McLeod's done a lot of racing around here this week, I know for a fact. And he's, yeah, look, cooler heads will prevail there. Let's Grebstad in comfortably. And these guys just don't want to lose those front 2 because there is a genuine gap now breaking up between these front 4 and Antonides and Arens in 5 and 6 respectively, AJ.
Yeah, Fahim got very sideways through the dip of that lap, so that was what sort of put them off the back of that pack a little bit. Barrier ends, he's gone through on Fahim down the straight, and it's looking like he may just be able to keep in Mitchell McLeod's draft, so maybe they'll be able to work their way back up to that front pack. Yeah,
it looks like they might be able to, just a half a second, although that draft effect is multiplied in that front 4, but Arens should be able to hang on as long as they get a clean run out and over the mountain, as we see now Grebstad pulling alongside McLeod, wanting to reclaim that P2, but of course McLeod still having the draft. I beg your pardon, it's Vascalampi now with Morton up front, McLeod sitting in P4. These guys making it work through Griffins once again. Lovely corner that Griffins when you get it right. Really sets you up for the run through the mountain. Then the live or die moment for your mountain run is really into this next corner of the cutting, sweeping out wide, cutting into the apex and getting on the gas as early as you dare. Those walls loom large, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's looking like those 2 barrier ends and Fahim Antonides, they've managed to get back on the pack. So it's going to be interesting now. These guys are just going to be shuffling position lap after lap. It's one of those ones where you can't really afford to sit and wait in P2 because you're going to get attacked from behind by the rest of the pack. And we've seen P3 around here is able to just about get through and take the lead down Conrod Straight. So any of those top 3 spots is a good spot to be in.
Absolutely, but I tell you what, the championship all in the balance. Russell Clark now all the way down in P10, just down the 1 spot, but has been passed by Cantor and Witten by the looks. Although, yeah, Witten and Cantor both up 2 spots. We've lost Tim Gorkrotcher. His luck's run out. I don't know what happened there, AJ. Did you catch any of that? 3 wide down Conrod now. Sorry for the lead.
You're right. No, I didn't catch what happened to Tim, but of course he was buried back in the pack anyway, so he's not going to have had too much of an impact on this race.
Oh.
But yeah, Russell, I don't know.
I tell you what, they've made it work there. You didn't think they could. 2 and 3 wide now. You've got McLeod making it 3 wide on the approach to Murray's once again. The tail into lap 3. You think, you're pretty sure all the sheep stations are on the line tonight. Hawthorne licking his lips at this opportunity. He's out to a 0.7 a gap with a perfectly good drive out of Murray's there on the approach to Hell Corner now. They're still trying to work it out behind 2x2 once again. Morton up the inside there of Antonides now. Really risking dropping the gap here, but they can't get any more than 3 wide up Mountain Straight, surely, AJ.
No, and this is risky business for him. He doesn't need to be doing anything too drastic here. He's in this position that he needs to be in to win the championship. Oh, that looked like Ben Snell gave him a little touch in the rear there, and now Enzo's coming into play as well.
3 wide they go into Griffin's 2 wide now. That's Enzo getting forced wide. Is it? Yes, it's Morton and Cantor forced wide there on the run up through Griffin's now. You've got Antonides on the outside into the cutting there. You can make that work, but that takes a lot of cooperation, and the guys get it done. 2x2 through the cutting. Who would have thought it possible? These guys making it work once again, AJ.
Yeah, and we've got Russell Clark. All this fighting, this has brought Russell back into the game. I'm a little bit worried for Antonides because, you know, he doesn't need to be racing this hard. All he needs to do is finish top 5, and the championship is basically his for taking a silver platter. But, you know, if he gets in an accident and Russell's able to capitalise, then, you know, that'll just absolutely open the championship up for either Russell or Kevin Henderson as well, possibly in the second split.
Yeah, absolutely correct there, AJ. But jumping back up to the front now, we've really got a 3-way battle now. We've got Grebstad, McLeod and Vascalampi. We've got McLeod really flying the local flag here in P2. But, you know, there's plenty of strategy to play out here. Vascalampi's got great pace around here. Grebstad has found his pace after really struggling at the start of the week. McLeod now pulling out, using all that bit of draft and more. These guys will want to work together for at least a couple more laps, as behind them they've got an angry pack trying to chase them down after that racing really cost them. Antonides on the head of that. Oh, the 2x2. Snell is into a 17 car. Witten, I think, who's made his way up from miles back. He's up 5 positions through this field already, and really flying loose and free through the chase there that time round, AJ.
Yeah, Ben Snell, he's got some pretty bad damage. That car is crabbing and he's heading straight back to the pits. That's allowed Russell. He's nicely up on the back of this pack now. Luke leading it, but it's also allowed Jeremiah Morton and Fahim Antonides to just skip away. So this is what we needed, or this is what Fahim Antonides needed. He just needed to be in a nice, comfortable position. They've got a nice little gap over Luke Witten now. So he can just put his head down and concentrate on driving that car straight. I don't want to see any more sideways action from him.
That's right. Well, so Grebstad now pulling in front, working together, these 3. They will be partners in crime for the time being. Give it a couple more laps, though, and then the sheep stations will be on the line once again as we see that number 1 car, Antonides, is just looming large in the background on the approach into the cutting now. Lap 5 of 10 here, so about 5.5 to go. This time round up the mountain, as these 3 really look to really be a combination of 3 hares trying to get away from the chasing pack of wolves now, led by Fahim Antonides with Jeremiah Morton tucked right in behind. They themselves trying to get away from Antonides' teammate and sparring partner from last week, Cantor, who's on the front with Witten, Arends and Clark. Really hoping for more from this race in the title race overall as well, AJ.
Yeah, I'm just monitoring that gap for him. You know, they're not too far away. If you can get a good run down a mountain, it's only about 1.6 seconds at the moment. So it's going to be interesting. There's still plenty of laps to go. If Jeremiah Morton and Fahim Antonitis can work together, you know, that front pack, they look like they're within touching distance.
Yeah, absolutely. For him, we know he's a very smart racer. Cantor now almost in the toe. He's 1.1. Oh, got to stop picking for him. He keeps he keeps dropping out, so I lose the car. But he's going to look for the double draft. I tell you what, very risky, but it's risk reward at this stage for these guys. They're 2.1 seconds behind that lead pack, who are racing smart at this stage still, with McLeod now grabbing the toe and going past into the lead of this race to lead lap 5. Grebstad not attacking at this stage, and Vascalampi all the while just trying to pick his mark, seeing where the guys are weak and strong and seeing what he can make of the last few laps, AJ.
Yeah, that's right. And just keeping an eye. These guys are going to keep swapping position. They're swapping position nearly more than I can keep up with, to be honest. But, they're going to have to keep doing that because, well, Fahim, yeah, they're out to a good 2.1 second gap. So, you know, I think that run might be over for Fahim and Jeremiah Morton. I think that's going to be too much for them now.
Yeah, potentially, but once again, they're leapfrogging. Morton there, and Witten now making a move up the inside as well. Witten coming up into Griffins, gets the job done over Arends. Not sure if there's much reward in that risk, but at the same token, you can't sit on the back of these packs all day. If you want to move up, you've got to certainly get it done at some point, and Witten showing how it's done through Griffins once again. As now we have Morton on the front of this second chasing pack with Antonitis. I've got to tell you, was really sideways through, through the elbow last lap round. Has now got his teammate and sparring partner Enzo Cantor sitting right on his tail. I just hope the team radio is blasting with Enzo. The championship's on the line. Help me, son, don't get in the way. So interested to see how those two play it out. Meanwhile, the front three setting a sedate looking pace, but certainly lightning, as they're down in the 2-minute 30.6. Best lap of the race so far, 2-minute 30.3, I think, by Mitchell McLeod sitting in P2. No doubt draft affected, of course. I know there's a 2:30 dead, which was by Mr. Enzo Cantor all the way down in P6. Of course, draft plays a big factor here, but certainly those times are not what we would have expected in the slightly adjusted Skippy for this season, AJ.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? The Skippy's working very nicely around here, and I don't know whether it's the draft is more powerful this season down here. I'm not sure. What do you think, Alex? It's certainly you're able to get it done down Conroy quite easily, even from being 3 cars back.
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like the draft is a little bit nerfed or reduced, for want of a better term, this season. It's not as easy to get it done, but that's straight. You know, you may as well have a plane taking off. It's like a runway. It is long enough to get it done. The dual pass, the draft to pass and the draft back, not as viable this season with the new Skippy, but certainly the single draft, if you get it right, get your interval right at the start of the straight, you can get it done comfortably enough, AJ.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got 3 packs of 3 now formed. So unfortunately for Luke Witten, he wasn't able to keep on the back of Enzo. So for him, maybe a little more comfortable now, knowing that he's only got Jeremiah Morton, and he can trust in his good friend and teammate Enzo Cantor not to do anything too silly and ruin his chance at the championship.
You'd certainly like to think so, wouldn't you? But we know Enzo loves his racing and he's a fierce competitor. So fascinating to see how that one plays out. Mind you, the front 3 now, they're only maintaining that gap. So they've got the draft working in their favour as well. But as we ride on board with Grebstad, McLeod and Vascalampi now, It's still at the 2.1 second mark, so they're not gaining anything. They're just sort of holding station. And I tell you what, they got some of the best Skippy drivers going around trying to chase them down, AJ.
Yeah, and I mean, Timu sitting there in third place, he was absolutely lightning around here in the super skips last night. So there's no lack of speed in that front group, but it really shows. I mean, you've got, car number one, Fahim Antonitis, and Enzo Kanda, who is also no slouch in a skippy, and Jeremiah Morton. That second pack is, yeah, equally as quick. They just need a little mistake from that front trio, and I think they could be right back in it.
I'll tell you what, who else is right back in it? Luke Witt, sitting there in P7. He was 9/10 coming out of the elbow, and he's now just at 1.1 second. Now you can see as Antonitis pulls on the outside. I'll tell you what, Canto looking to go with him. The three. Cantor coming from third spot in that pack. I don't think his teammate will be sending him any Christmas cards after that one. Enzo, hang on to it. Don't force your team. It's a championship, Enzo. What are you doing? Oh, there's action behind. Cars going everywhere. Is that Clark?
Oh, yeah, that is Russell. Russell's out of it.
That is Clark. Let's see if we can pick up that replay. Our championship leader. What's going on here? He's come through the chase all right. He's just minding his own business, and then I think is it Witten? Oh, it is. It's Witten that's gone. No, it is. It's Witten that's gone wide. It's spat back across the track, and that Milo car has not only gone flying through the air, but it's becoming a Milo sausage. Oh, sausage roll there. Devastating for Team Milo and for Russell Clark as he's making his way through the pits now. What a tragic end, AJ.
Yeah, that's so disappointing for Russell. I mean, there's really nothing he could have done there. Even, you couldn't pick a side. So, I mean, yeah, really gutted for Russell. He's going to be so disappointed. But, yeah, that's racing. Sometimes that happens. And the championship is 12 races. You've got to put it together across the whole season. And this is just another one that's unfortunately not gone well.
No, that's right. That is unfortunate. But I tell you what, this pack of three is now a pack of four chasing down the leaders. You've got, I would imagine, well, we know it's a very racy Enzo Cantor sitting on third spot on that. You've got perhaps a little bit red mystified Antonitis there sitting in the second spot with Morton sitting on front of this second pack. And who's joined them but Barry Arends? He is sitting there in car number 18, just snuck into this field and looking to bank some good points, actually. 50 iRating if he gets it right from here. And who knows what he can do in the closing stages. Whereas up front, once again, Mitchell McLeod sitting in the tow. Look at Vascalampi. He's sitting out to one side. I tell you what, it's lap 8 of 10, 2.2 remaining. Have the Ducks and Drakes started already, AJ? No, McLeod pulling out, happy to lead this race with 2 to go. Of course, it's a different dynamic when there's 3. When there's only 2, you don't have to do anything when you're in P2. Save your strategy for the last lap. But when there's 3, there's always the risk that the other guy's going to come in and take that prime position, AJ.
Yeah, Timu consistently been sitting there in P3, so I think he has a game plan in mind, and I think it's going to be charged from P3 on that last lap down corner and try and take the lead. But, all of that kerfuffle from Cantor and Fahim and Morton that previous lap, they lost a good half a second and now out to a 3-second gap from that front pack. So very much they're going to be fighting for fourth, but with Clark retiring from the race, that's all that Fahim needs now. So he just has to keep it together, not get into anything. As Arends gets really close to the back of Fahim there going up the mountain straight.
Yeah, realistically, it's 5 points in it. Antonitis, really, he can finish on the back of this pack and not have to worry about it. So the only thing on the line from him there is iRating, of course. But look, I don't know about you, but I'd take the M&L Championship over a few iRating at this point, AJ. So Antonitis now, cooler heads will prevail, and as long as he gets around this 1.5 laps remaining, he will be our new title holder. As up ahead now, we rejoin the leaders. We've got Grebstad on the front, McLeod tucked right in behind, and Vascalampi, I tell you what, These three, they all know they're there, that's for sure. They'll be big in each other's mirrors. And Grebstad, he's done a lot of laps around here, we know, and regularly with part of the Friday night race club here on a Saturday night each week. He's got this track nailed. I know it's on his citizenship exam, and I'm sure he'd do pretty well the amount he's done around here. But McLeod, of course, very quick around here in many vehicles. Skippy no exception, and Vascalampi, of course. I don't know who to pick, AJ. Who have you got your money on as we come down the Conrod for the penultimate time?
Yeah, well, I'm picking Timu. He's just letting the guys ahead just skip out a little bit there. Not the best run, but I think from what I saw last night, he's got the best raw pace out of this front trio, I'm thinking. So I'm going to go with Timu making a Hail Mary from P3 on the last lap down Conrod.
Yeah, that could be the go. I think we could capitalise. I've seen McLeod. He's pretty racy around here. Got the pace. Hawk on Grebstad, we know, will not give up a win if it's within his power. Look, yeah, I don't know. You could be right. I don't know who to go for, mate. I like the local boy to win, but I'm fond of the other two as well, so I'm out. I don't know who to pick. But jumping back to the second pack there, we've got Antonidas tucked in behind Cantor and Morton, who's leading that pack now. Perhaps Antonidas deciding that the championship's in his back pocket, and that's good enough for the night. But Cantor, of course, getting very racy now as he pulls on, forced to the outside by Morton on the run-up Mountain Straight into Griffins for this final lap now. And yeah, concedes the position, does Morton. He knows that he's in the box seat for the run down Conrod this final time, AJ.
Yeah, it's interesting just up ahead as well. Mitchell McLeod, just, I don't know if he was feathering the throttle going up, just trying to facilitate a pass. Yeah, I think he definitely wouldn't want to be in P1 going down Conrod, but it looks like he's not going to have much choice now because he's leading them across the top of the mountain.
Yeah, certainly not the best spot to be in necessarily. I know my comments in the latest episode of the Top Split podcast were to the effect that sometimes it's better to be in front than behind these days. It's not quite as much of a guaranteed overtake, but having said that, Conrod, it is. It's whether or not you can get the draft back, or you certainly have to work hard, harder than you used to, because then you got the final chase and a lovely corner there through the dipper by Vascalampi, and then finally into Murray's. You can get it done on the inside and outside. I've seen both this week. Look at this lovely line once again. Vascalampi on the power. Probably a bit later than you would think necessarily, but only because probably he's in traffic. So this is where we get it done. McLeod now making it hard to stick in the draft. Bit of ducks and drakes. Tell you what, there was a decent gap there. Half a second. Grebstad now, the draft really kicking in, but they're over the bump. They're coming into the kink. They're going to be 3 wide potentially here, AJ.
Yeah, Hock-on a little bit slow down the mountain, but it looks like it's positioned him perfectly, and that's put Timo out of the fight for P1. So Mitchell McLeod's held on through the chase. Timo's going to try around the outside of Grebstad now, but Grebstad holding position. It looks like it's going to be McLeod. Timo looking for the late move for P2. Oh, Grebstad tries to make a move around the outside. Timo Vascalampi capitalising. McLeod's got to take the win.
McLeod getting it done. Vascalampi doing fantastically well behind him, going up the inside of Grebstad, who was trying to get it done around the outside. We then had Morton come through, Cantor, Arenz, and Antonidas again relegated down to P7, but that, folks, will be enough for him, Antonidas, to take out your Monday Night Lights series for season 14, folks. What a race, what a season. And it all got done here at the mountain tonight, AJ.
Yeah, that's a great run from Fahim, and he had to work hard for it this season because, as we saw in a lot of the previous races, he hasn't had the best of luck. And I think back to Monza, for example, that first chicane incident that really stands out. But he's been able to put together 8 solid races, and championship is Antonidas.
That's exactly. I say what I'm finding two stricken Milo cars. I don't know what's going on here. Is this post race shenanigans or have they not finished quite yet? Clark's finished yet. Snell.
Uh,
Don't know what happened to Snell there. He's. I think Clark. No, Clark has not finished.
Clark's, I think, thrown it, thrown up the flag, and he's taken the jump on the final lap of Cricket of the Cup.
Oh, I tell you what, that's certainly out of frustration. I'm sure the guy who was the cause of it, unwittingly, you'll pardon the pun, was Mr. Luke Whitten, who is also parked in pits. So very unfortunate outcome for our series leader going into tonight. But let's check out our results for the final round this season, round 12, live and exclusive on Top Split TV, coming to you from Mount Panorama. Mitchell McLeod leading the local charge, taking out a fantastic victory, really racing hard, smart during the middle stages of the race, hard but fair in the final closing stages. Fantastic result for Mitchell McLeod, taking out his first ever Monday Night Lights victory. Team of Escalampy played a very patient game and brought it home again with some smart and hard racing at the end to come in P2. Håkon Grebstad was always in it, never out. Grad pole here tonight, but was done on the line, as it were, and relegated to the third step on the podium. Jeremiah Morton leading the best of the rest there in P4. Strong drive from him tonight, but was no doubt hoping to be right up amongst it with the leaders. Enzo Cantor having a great drive up 5 positions. Certainly got racy with his teammate at one point. But we know Enzo and we love him. He's always there in amongst the action and looking to make it happen. Good result from him. Ran out your top 5. Barry Arends. We don't see Barry here too often, but a great result for him in P6. Fahim Antoinides, your MNL champion for season 14 in P7 tonight. Not the victory that he might have hoped for, but certainly the victory overall. P8 tonight was Gustavo Conde from Iberia. I believe that's the second race in a row we've had Gustavo. Welcome back tonight. P9, Samuel Collins. Good result for him. We haven't seen him regularly this season, but it's good to have him back in here. Cristobal Otero Roman from Iberia in P10. Leading, no, not quite. He was second in the Iberian Challenge here tonight, and unfortunately for him, all the way down in P10. P11 went to Wayne Funston from ANZ. P12, Oscar Chinchilla Maza, also from Iberia, in the last of the Monday Night Lights point scoring positions. P13 was Team Milo's own Ben Snell having a night to forget once again, as did poor old Russell Clark in P14. Not the end to his championship season that he was no doubt hoping for, and has missed out once again on top spot overall. Sven Toraduez in P15. Didn't see much of Sven tonight. Down a lapser, and no doubt, yes, he did have to take a trip through the pits and a tow. P16, Luke Whitten. Well, we saw Luke's end, and that was unfortunate for both him and Russell in the end, all the way down in P16, car 17, and 3 laps down. P17, Tim Gorkrocher, who, by his own admission, was the victim of other people's incidents, and after missing setting a qualification time, and then unfortunately 9 laps down after retiring, as was Ivan Fernandez from Iberia AJ. That was quite some race, and what we would come to expect here on Monday Night Lights at Mount Panorama.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great race. And just to report back, yeah, Gowcrodger, he got caught up. I believe it was with uh, Chinchilla Maza, I think it was, a stricken Chinchilla Maza at the Dipper. So that is a risk that you take starting that far back, and that explains what happened to Tim.
Yeah, okay, that's very unfortunate. You know, got some pace around here. More unfortunate was the fact that he didn't set a quality time, because he would have been right amongst it, I'm sure. We have a few people in the green room. We shall bring them up in finishing order, as is our way here. Starting tonight with Mr. Håkon Grebstad. Håkon,
good day,
mate. Pole to begin with, but not pole in the end.
No, yeah, I made a little mess of it in the final corner, but I'm really happy with third here.
Yeah, mate, it was a great run to get to third, but you know, you were right in it, right up until the end, of course, but was unable to bring home the chocolates tonight. Um, how was the racing up front?
It was pretty calm and collected. The first few laps was a bit scrappy and people wanting to make up positions and stuff. But after like lap 2 or 3, it kind of just settled in with me, Timu, and Mitchell, and we just kind of swapped positions on the straight because we saw Enzo and Jeremiah and those guys behind us kind of trying to catch back up. So we just kept it cool until the last lap.
Yeah, okay. It looked like it was pretty calm and collected there. Uh, once that gap was done, which is the kind of racing we expect to see around here, and then it gets a little bit more action packed, shall we say, at the end. But it looked to be hard and fair there at the end as well.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone went hard for it, and I felt like it was a fair finish. I just I could have finished better if I hadn't made that little mistake into the final corner, locked up the brakes, and got a bit loose. Let Timo by.
Yeah, that's it. Looks like it was a good battle, though, but certainly one that would bring us back time and time again. So thank you for joining us here on track, and great to see you back, mate, after those technical issues but during the season. But hopefully we'll see you bigger and better next season.
Yeah, happy to be back, man. Thanks for having me.
There you go, AJ. Great to have our Scandinavian cohort with us tonight, taking a couple of steps on the podium. In fact, Hawk on the leading one, of course.
Yeah, and I was sort of thinking that, Håkon, he had a bit of a bad run down a mountain on that last lap. I thought that might have actually worked out in his favour, but yeah, P3, you've still got to be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Not easy to come by around here, of course. Now, our next position was young Jeremiah Morton. Jeremiah, welcome to the Top Split TV commentary booth. Good racing out there tonight. You're on the front of the second very racy pack. Looked like a bit of fun out there, if nothing else.
Oh yeah, that was one heck of a race. It was good fun. Always is when it comes to Bathurst and the Skippies. But what a good way to finish off the season. Hey.
Yeah, absolutely. The season, both for Monday Night Lights and, of course, for iRacing itself. The season and the year coming to a close tonight for many people, including yourself, no doubt. But it was a pretty hectic event there. Looks like there was plenty of smart and strategic racing, but also plenty of opportunity to get your elbows out at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It was unfortunate that both me and for him fell off the lead pack, and then we try and work together to try and get back up there. And we almost had them, but we just had a bit of a miscommunication coming into turn 2, and we both thought I thought I was going past, and he thought he was going past, and so we both ended up braking when we were meant to be going flat out to catch him. But oh well, that's racing, and we just couldn't get there in the end. But yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all it takes in this sort of field, mate. The smallest little misstep and the guys in front are away. But certainly a great drive from yourself, mate. It's no easy feat finishing in front of the likes of Enzo and Fahim. So great drive, mate. And anyone like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, I'd just like to give a shout out to Lit Motorsports. The boys have been phenomenal in supporting both myself and all the other drivers. So good job to everyone, and yeah, we'll bounce back stronger next season.
Awesome, mate. Well, thanks very much for joining us here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Cheers. Thanks, Alex.
There you go, AJ. It looks like we might see a bit more of Jeremiah, and that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it was a great one from Jeremiah, especially being able to finish on the front of that second pack with the likes of Enzo, Cantor, and Fahim Antonitis in there. So, well done from him. And if he carries that pace through next season, then he could take out a championship, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. I know he's done a bit of real life racing, so hopefully he can bring a bit more of that onto the track, and we can see a bit more of him up there, up near the front, the pointy end, as it were. But just moving on, we've got who we got left there. We got We're on to our... No, we've got Mr. Cantor first. So let's bring up Enzo and see what he's got to share with us. Hello, Enzo. Alex McKellar here in the Top Split TV commentary booth. Not a victory tonight, but certainly looked like you had fun racing out there.
Yeah, surely. I was. I'm very happy to do this final race of the season today, and yeah, I started with a not very good qualifying lap, but you know, here the important thing is to be alive at the end of the laps. But unfortunately, in the second lap, I touched the wall, so I lost that little bit improved that you can do in the second lap, and I started. Perhaps too rare on the grid. But I was confident we could work together, me, Fahim, and Jeremiah, in order to catch the first train. We were a little bit faster than them, but the problem was that we didn't understand each other well enough to work together well enough in order to catch them. So we lost a little bit of time in some passing move and nothing to do. So congratulations to the podium, and I'm happy to have finished the race without dying over the walls.
They do loom very large here at Bathurst, of course, and you might be pleased to know that we think Fahim, your teammate, has taken out the Monday Lights Championship overall. So another trophy for the Team Mivano cabinet.
Are you sure? Because we were talking about this before. I was searching for the official complete standings, but I wasn't able to find it. So we were asking us who is the champion. So he doesn't know if he is the champion or not.
All right. Well, don't tell him. We'll surprise him when he gets here. All right.
Maybe you can do a joke. You can say he lost it in the final race.
We'll see how we go.
Before saying the joke. Try.
All right, mate. So is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, surely. I have to say thanks to my team Mivano, Transmaster Mivano Racing, my team manager Fabio Mantellini, my teammate Fahim Antonio Dez. Surely, because you do a very awesome and passionate work every season, and I hope the next one you will be here again. And see ya in the next season.
Absolutely, yeah, mate. We look forward to becoming bigger and better next season, but we do appreciate your words and your participation, mate. It's always great to see you. I know the fans love to hear from you after races as well, mate. So we look forward to seeing you again next season, and all the best until then.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, AJ. That was Enzo Cantor representing Team Mivano once again, of course, and a great representative he is. He certainly brings the action on and off the track.
Yeah, absolutely exciting to watch, and getting in there and mixing it with his teammate with so much on the line. So very exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing from Fahim.
Yeah, well, we've got a late entrant here. We've got Mitchell McLeod who's joined us, who was looking for the server details before. We better go back to our running order and bring him up to say g'day. Mitchell, Alex McKellar here, and Alex John in the Top Split TV commentary booth, mate. That's a really strong entry into the Monday Night Lights Championship there with a win here at Bathurst, mate. Congratulations. How was the racing out there?
Absolutely epic, man. It was unbelievable. I didn't expect to qualify as well as I did. And then with the battle that was going on early on, there was like 10 of us in a row, and I could see all the cars behind me. I just did not expect that I'd be up that end of the field. And then I made a ballsy move. We went 3 by 3, I reckon, up the middle early on, and it was a bit risky, but as it turns out, it got 3 of us a bit of a gap. So in the end, it worked out, because then we didn't have to worry about everyone else behind. We just had to work together, and everyone that I was racing, we all worked together and got a bit of a gap, and then it was just a matter of who wants to lead on the last lap.
Yeah, mate, it was a
And
fantastic race up front there. You guys were racing smart and then hard at the end. It looked like it was pretty fair there at the end, and you certainly came out on top. So the strategy paid off tonight, mate.
yeah, it did. Look, I didn't expect to have it end like that. I expected that. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Hakon, maybe.
Hawken, yeah, Hawken
Um,
Grebstad, yeah.
Hawken, Hawken. I expected that maybe he would have, just let us go at some point on like the early in the lap, and yeah, he obviously just didn't want to pass me. I knew that was coming, and I thought, all right, if I just send it down the mountain, I might get enough of a gap to make a challenge here. And he must have made a slight mistake out of Forest Elbow, and it was just enough for me to get that tiny little margin so that I could defend a bit at the end of it. And look, I made a bit of a late breaker maneuver into the chase, and it paid off. So yeah, I'm over the moon, eh?
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Well, that was the second highest strength of field of the week. You picked up something like 95 I rating out of that, and a bag full of championship points, 229 championship points. It's a fantastic effort. So just chuck those points in the bank, mate. Now, I know you're a streamer. Do you want to give your channel a bit of a plug, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Oh, look, shout out obviously to my own stream because it's a bit of a laugh. And if you follow me, it is a bit of a laugh. And you laugh even more when I do well. So, Twitch Inc. Twitch.com.au. I've ruined this bit. Twitch.com/talk inc. That's what I'm trying to get out.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right, mate. Well,
there's a bit of a bit of an idea on how the stream goes.
Well, that's the thing. The live interaction is what it's all about. It can go right and it can go wrong, but it's always a laugh. So congratulations on the racing here tonight, mate. Great and storming entrance into the Monday Night Lights Championship. Hopefully we might even see you back a bit more next season, mate.
Oh, for sure. Can't wait. Catch you guys.
There you go, AJ. Quite an entry into the Monday Lights for Mitchell McLeod. And like I said, hopefully we might see him again next season.
Yeah, and look, Mitchell, if you're listening, I'd absolutely written you off on the last lap. So yeah, very well done to hang on to it down the Conrod Straight for the final time and get that maiden victory in Monday Night Lights. And I'm going to go and check out his Twitch stream now, so I can follow the great racing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I told you, mate. It's the new Skippy. It's the new way. Sometimes you want to be in front on the last lap. It's a new world order. It makes it a lot of fun too. Well, it's time now. Let's bring up Mr. Antonides. Fahim Antonides, welcome to the Top Split TV commentary booth for the final time in season 14. P7 tonight. Not perhaps what you were hoping for. How was the racing out there tonight?
Yeah, it was so and so, to be honest. It wasn't very good. As you can probably tell from my Barry White voice tonight, I'm not doing very well. So I haven't turned the wheel all week, and I don't know about you, but when you get to my age, it takes a good week or so, the best part of a week, to tune your muscle memory into the car and track. So today was my first race of the week, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't bin it and keep it there on over the line, safe and sound. And I suppose qualifying was where it kind of went wrong. I did a pretty decent first lap. It was a 31.3 on my first lap. And then I got the penultimate and the first corners, the two 90-degree left-handers completely wrong. So by the time I started going up the chase, I was already almost 6/10 down on my first lap. And from there on, I wasn't going to be able to get any higher than where I got to. So I suppose 6 was pretty surprising to get that high up, having messed second lap up so much. And then the rest of the race, it was just not quite getting it right between Jeremiah and Enzo and I. We just didn't seem to get into a proper rhythm and groove to try and haul ourselves back up to the front pack. And so I thought, you know what? I don't know where I stand in the championship in terms of, I know I stand second in the championship, but I wasn't sure who else was in the reckoning. And I thought, let's just get it home safe and see what happens from there.
Yeah, well, mate, speaking of the championship, listen, first of all, thank you so much for coming out and joining us. It's always a great pleasure having you here, but certainly, on a night when you're crook as well. But I'm very pleased to very pleased to inform you that with Russell's unfortunate exit, and you've got a 0-point drop round to go, just the 5-point gap sees you take out season 14 as our new champion. For season
Really?
14. Yeah, mate, so congratulations
cool.
on that. So
Thank you very much.
despite a few bumps along the way, P7 was enough to do it tonight. And,
Awesome.
we've really appreciated the
Well-
support from you this season, mate. It's a fantastic result overall.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very happy about that. What a better way to wrap up becoming the Monday Night Lights champion in Australia by finishing it off in Australia at one of the best tracks on the service. So great way to finish it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We were really pleased to be here. And, of course, we were just saying the Aussies grow an extra leg here. So you're probably, without having turned a few laps this week with a few Aussies in the field, it's no surprise to see one on the top step. But you're probably up against it as well. So, listen, mate, it's been fantastic having you this season. We look forward to hopefully seeing a bit more of you next season and defending that title. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Well, really, you guys for organizing this league. It's unique amongst all the other leagues in that it doubles up as earning you points for the official championship, but not only any official uh, points. It's one of the highest SOF races throughout the week. So anyone who enters this race is likely to do themselves a lot of favors in winning the official championship. So whoever came up with this idea, whether it was you guys or whoever set this league up, thank you very much for doing that. It's a very unique league. Some fantastic drivers in the Aussie series, and I always look forward to racing with them and bantering with them in the broadcast green room afterwards. And of course, my team and Enzo for being there and acting us on. So cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Fahim, mate. It's a great pleasure. Can't lay claim to it, but certainly happy to carry the torch. But thank you once again, and we look forward to talking to you in the coming seasons.
Take care. Bye-bye.
There you go, AJ, up from his deathbed by the sounds of Fahim Antoinides. Just the one more race. That shows you what this championship's worth, doesn't it?
Yeah, poor Fahim dragging himself out of bed with a bit of man flu. So that's a good job from Fahim. And that explains the heart in mouth moments. I saw him sideways through the dipper one or two times. So, good job by him to just get in there, get the P7 he needed, and take the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got one last participant. Well, we've got two actually. One from the top split. Let's bring him up and say g'day. Mr. Ben Snell, well, it's not much to say the leading Team Milo driver here tonight, but you certainly were that in what looked to be quite an eventful race for yourself, mate.
I finished in the number that's suited my season, I think. Lucky P13.
Lucky P13 it was indeed, mate. Certainly not the way you probably had envisaged the night going, but you and your teammate got in a bit of strife. Not you two together, of course, but collectively. How was the racing otherwise? Although you didn't get much of a look in, did you?
No. I just mainly wanted to jump up to apologise to Gustavo because might have slightly killed him start of the race.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was basically I jumped in, got straight home, and jumped on. So it was a little bit cold and a little bit wary driving, but whatever happens, happens, and hopefully my luck can stay with this season and season's 15 is a brighter horizon.
Yeah, mate. Well, this season wasn't all bad. I think you saw your first win, and like a few bumps and bruises along the way, as we've said. But certainly hoping for bigger and better things for you and Team Milo for next season. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
As always, you guys for looking after us and putting on an awesome show, and of course, Team Milo.
Go Team Milo! Congratulations, mate, on a good season, and we look forward to seeing you again for the next one.
All right, catch you guys.
There you go, AJ. Team Milo representative, Mr. Ben Snell. Not getting it done here tonight, but certainly looks like he's got a bit of a smile in his voice still.
Yeah, Ben Snell, he's got plenty of speed, so I expect him to do well next season if he can get that consistency sorted out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll bring up Kevin Henderson. Kevin Henderson, Alex McKellar here from the Top Split TV commentary booth with Alex John, of course, tonight. Mate, did you get out on track? Were you relegated to the second split tonight? Is that what happened?
Yeah, Alex, I had a pretty bad week here. Lost a lot of IR, and yeah, I was first car in the second split, which probably in the end worked well for me.
Yeah, how'd you end up in the race, mate? How was the racing out there?
John Schultz and Grant Ashby and I, we had a really good race. Unfortunately, and Grant had Tiny coming together out of the chase on the last lap. Second, but yeah, it got me second in the championship, which is my highest finish in the championship, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh, I can bet you are, mate. You've been in, we missed you a few rounds this season, I should say, which is unlike you, but still managing to hang on for the best result. Of course, I think it was up until recently you and Jason Willman who were fighting out for the most MNL caps, but I think you've got him these days. He's not as often seen in the skips on a Monday night, but certainly second in the championship behind the likes of Fahim Antonitis. It's nothing to sneeze at, mate.
I'm really, really pleased. Yeah, I did miss a few weeks at the start of the season. I sort of there for a bit, but so I had a few drop rounds and had a late charge at the end, so yeah, I was pretty lucky. I'm glad to get out of that green room. They're giving me a hard time. They reckon I sound like the honey badger.
Fair enough. Well, mate, congratulations on the season result overall. It's always fantastic to see you rocking up each and every week, and hopefully that IR will get you back into the top split and back on the viewing screens at home sooner rather than later. Of course, car number one in the second split is very frustrating, but then again, it was the second highest second highest soft of the week, and car 18 in here was 3,200, so it's no mean feat getting in and staying in, but certainly we hope to see you more on our screens in action next season.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely be back, Alex. The competition's getting a bit stiff, but it seems to get harder and harder every season. So I don't know how I managed the second, but I did, and I'm very happy with it. And just like to thank you and Alex both for the work you guys put in. It's much appreciated by everyone.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Kevin, mate. And we look forward to many more seasons to come. So thank you once again.
No worries, and condolences to Russell. That's how I feel for him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, mate. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
There you go, AJ. I often call him the stalwart of Monday Night Lights. Of course, Kevin Henderson, who he himself has done some commentary for the Skippy community in his day, and it's always great to see him out there. We know he likes his racing hard and fast, and gets the elbows out from time to time. But so many of us do enjoy a bit of close hard racing, and what better category than the Skip Barber to do that in, eh?
Yeah, I've raced with Kevin myself, and it's always a pleasure. So congratulations to him for P2, and that shows, he's in split 2 tonight, but you can still get a very good result in the championship. You don't have to be a split 1 driver to have a good result. And thank you to John Scoltz. He's saying that Russell Clark, he did manage to grab P3 in the championship. So we'll call that maybe provisional until we work out the points. But yeah, Russell, condolences about P3.
Yeah, there's no shame in P3. Of course, he's led the season almost from go to woe, and only to have it ripped from the Team Milo clutches at the very end. But yeah, congratulations to Russell on what would be, I think, probably his best season. Not sure he's been on the podium before, but certainly a great result for him. But that, folks, pretty much brings us to the end of our broadcast tonight. Also to the season that was in season 14. We will be back next season, of course, for season 15. Just working out the schedule now. We have posted up preemptive scheduled broadcasts for all rounds, but there is a good chance, given the way Mondays fall, that we might miss a couple due to the festive period, but you would come to expect that. But in the meantime, we'll be away for next week, week 13, but back bigger and better after that. AJ, in the meantime, where can folks find you?
Yeah, I've had a few computer issues, so maybe not streaming this week, but have a look out on my YouTube channel, AJ_77 as well. I'm thinking I might try and get a couple of runs in the new open wheelers and maybe post up a a few vids, maybe a little short review of how those go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a few of us looking forward to trying them out and the new tracks, but you can hear about that on the podcast, of course. AJ and I put out the latest episode of the Top Split podcast, episode 14, on the airwaves now. Check it out on iTunes or head over to thetopsplit.com where you'll find all the episodes there, and as well as all the back catalogue of Monday Night Lights season broadcasts. But as for me, I'll be over at the Top Split TV Twitch channel as well, streaming Milo Races live. So head on over there, chuck us a follow so you get an advertisement about when we come up, or notified, I should say. Plenty of action there in Skip Barbers mainly, but also many other categories on a Friday and Saturday night. But that about wraps it up for us tonight. Thank you very much for joining us and for your support throughout the season. We have very much appreciated. This is, of course, a labour of love. It is done for the community, by the community, but we wouldn't have it any other way. I've been your host, Alex McKellar. On behalf of Alex John, I wish you farewell and good night. And until next time, ciao for now.